Welcome to Warmaster Podcast, episode 202. Paul and Barry.
Hello, listeners. We are here.
We're in the back cave.
We are in the back cave, yeah.
It's looking full in here, sir. I mean,
It is looking a bit full.
I used to be a shared space with you and Hannah. I ain't seen much of that.
Shared. I could be topical, but I'll give you an example. But there's sharing and there's sharing, isn't it? Sharing is caring. And that ain't... Yeah. We have occupied this strip.
I think this, which was a family cave, is now 100% man cave. All man cave.
Yeah.
You've got like an amazing... I mean, I've got some paints, not that I ever use them, but you have got an amazing selection of paints, so you can't possibly have bought all these fucking paints.
No.
There are billions of them, sir.
Oh, no. So the army painter ones I did get hold of because they were going very cheap from another gamer. Yeah.
Brilliant. I mean, look at it. You're like some pro painter. You've got like...
I'm not good enough.
I'm saying we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, about 6 different big stands of painting fucking stuff. All gold.
Yeah, it's cool. It does, but it does make you want to be creative, which is nice. Yeah.
I mean, you fucking look the part.
Yeah. So, and also it's also I've realised that because I've always painted with GW Paint because Games Workshop was the closest thing. But I've not like, oh, I can only use GW Paint, so I'm not like loyal to that. But then I got this massive amount of
Vallejo,
army paint.
is it?
They're army painter. Then there's some Vallejo as well.
Vallejo, I see
there's some
model
Vallejo
colour.
as well. But yeah, and I was like, I'll just use these as well. Like, and I'm just like mixing
As long
it
as
up.
you shake them properly.
Yeah. No, that's a much better paint pot than style.
But the fucking number of GW pots of contrast I've knocked over. Oh, man. And they're like 4 or 5 quid a pop and you knock it over and trying to spoon it back in.
I mean, like, I guess the pro painters out there, the people that do it for a living, they go across all ranges, don't they? Probably.
I guess so. But they wouldn't have much more than this.
I don't know.
You must have like 200 or 300.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, like
Right, well,
I like my blues.
He's got,
I got a lot of blues.
2/3 of it is blue.
2/3 of it is blue. A little shade of blue. Yeah, it's a little different, that blue.
That's a slightly different. So anyway, we're going to talk today about some general whiff-waff, which will please some of our listeners, because we're told Paul talks nothing.
No.
He just talks and says nothing, so he's going to get some time to say nothing.
Okay.
And then we're going to talk about the Warmaster Journal.
Yep.
Black powder in 10mm, which is the main topic, so that'll be after the break.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had some fun doing that so far.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And then we got the next episode will be the Orcsies army review.
And we will also do an episode on cavalry when we work out what it is our conclusions are.
Well, I mean, I have been doing some work on it, and there are some inconsistencies in the formula.
But we need to know what we're presenting better before we go with that.
Okay,
which is fair enough.
Yeah.
We're prepping.
Prepping like the whole world should be at the moment.
Yeah, I love the news at the moment. Did you see Donald Trump's F-bomb online?
I did.
I thought it was AI. I thought that was it could be, isn't it?
Do you know?
Yeah, I don't know. But it's sophisticated enough.
You see the guy, the head of NATO, wrote him.
That
sounds like he'd written it himself.
Publish that. What are you gonna do about
it?
Fuck him. They don't know what they're fucking doing.
So, I think the funniest nickname I've heard is Jaffa the Gut for Trump.
Jaffa the Gut.
He's coming over here in September. Better get your warmest welcome ready.
I don't know. It's going to be an interesting one. He's bound to get protests.
And he won't even fucking sit down, will he? He'll just bounce around. He'll only be there 10 minutes.
Suppose.
Get a photo, bounce off.
Yeah.
Anyway, fucking hell. What a world we're living in.
It'll be like one king to another, won't it? In his mind.
Oh, shit! I've just remembered it. Was it today or yesterday? They said we've got to prepare for. Britain's got to prepare for
What does that
defence?
What does that really mean?
Defensive action or here?
Yeah. What does that really
Who's
mean?
coming here?
I don't know. Who wants to? I don't get that.
What are they coming after?
I don't know.
We've got fuck all left.
We've still got quite a few pillboxes around, haven't we?
We've got them in shelter. We've got loads of them.
We can use them again. Yeah? There you go.
What have we got? I mean, we've got some strawberries rotting in the field if you want them. There's fuck all here, mate. What are you coming here for?
I don't know. I don't see the appeal.
But anyway, apparently we're on red alert. Emergency.
What does that mean? So
I'm too old, man. I'm too old. I'm 55
Changing
this
the bulb. Brilliant web door.
Keep them scared, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Keep them scared.
Keep people scared. They do what you want.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, we're not going to talk about politics.
Yeah.
Because it's too depressing.
It's too depressing.
Well, yeah. Anyway, so Paul's got to tell us a little bit. I don't know if we talked about you lost in the final of the Blood Bowl.
Yeah, so season 1 of the Blood Bowl League, and apologies, this isn't strictly Warmaster for those who.
Well, you do have a life.
Yeah, okay. So the club, we played our first season of Blood Bowl League again, a resurgence in Blood Bowl. I got myself to the final with a Chaos team, and I had a fantastic final game against Ogres. A guy, Eric, who I'd played in the league and won, and then we met again in the final because we were in different sides of the playoffs. And it went to penalties,
which is nuts.
And actually, we found out after we decided it, and we actually should have just kept playing endless halves until one of us won. Like
no penalties now.
No, apparently in the final it's not meant to be penalties. But never mind, we did it.
I mean, that's what they do in the football.
Yeah, we agreed.
You got to call it a day.
We played extra time, extra half, and it was still drawing. So then we went to penalties. So it was 2-2, and then penalties in Blood Bowl is literally a roll off, like dice off rolls, 5 opposed dice rolls, and we were drawing even at the end of them. So then it went right. It's next dice wins.
Wow.
That was it. So it was like, what do they call it? Sudden death penalty?
Yeah,
sudden death.
Sudden death.
So it was brilliant. I was like, that would have made, if we could have recorded that would have made great TV. Like in terms of like, it wasn't a one-sided final. It was fantastic. Yeah, like I managed to equalise by throwing a long bomb with a Chaos Warrior.
Nice.
With no rerolls.
No rerolls.
Just did it. 6, natural 6. And that got me a 2. That got me back to 2-2.
So, I'm playing in the second season.
Yeah, so we're in the second season.
In the first season, the thing that really kind of like freaked me out is of the semi-finals, was it a Snotling, an Ogre?
Yeah.
Was it another Snotling?
Yeah, it was another Snotling, yeah. And me.
You were the only, real team.
Real team, yes.
Chaos. And I don't know if they're tier 1 anyway. I think they're kind of, 1.5 maybe, something.
Yeah.
And all the others are supposedly garbage tier stunted, but that ain't the case no more. It would have been.
Well, Snotlings aren't, because you can, if you're savvy, if you're not interested in team progression, your value is very low. Right. So you never let anything develop. And so you're always using 2-star players in every game. Even the early ones, you get 2-star players, and that is the. I mean, to me, I think that's a bit lame, because that's not really that's just a you're just. I don't know. You're not perfecting your team at all. You're not interested. You're not interested in your team. You're just like, I just want 2-star players.
But I mean, I shouldn't really. We're going off on a little bit of a tangent. But are you really playing the game, or are you just playing the rules?
Playing the rules. Playing the rules. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If you've got no interest in your team.
Not really.
I mean, if your team never progresses,
but that's the thing. It's like, so
you're happy,
because I'd had a natural break from Blood Bowl, and it's cool to come back to it. And you do look at some teams so in season 2, I'm using a high elf team. And they are so good.
At what they do.
At what they do. Yeah.
But it can go wrong.
It can. Yeah. But when it's the fact that they can the whole team, you have catchers, but the whole team can handle the ball.
Yeah. Catcher's just going to have a reroll. Everybody's catching on a bullet too, anyway.
And so when I have my thrower and he's holding onto the ball, and I'm like, who should I throw to? I can throw to anybody in this team. And it's such a strong. They're so hard. Like if the person's kicked to me, it is so difficult for them to stop me scoring. In 2-3
you're going to score. You just let them to score.
Well, that's
I want you to score.
But it's even if you. But it's just so difficult to stop it. If you.
So if you go out, you get the kick off.
Yeah.
You score.
Yeah.
Turn 2.
2 or 3.
Yeah, I mean, by 3 you're going to score. Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Like 2 or 3 you score. Then I run out the entire first half.
Yep. Yeah.
And then I get the ball second half.
Yeah.
Run out the entire second half apart from the last turn, win 2-1.
That is a tactic, yeah. That's right. That is a tactic.
So that's kind of the only way you kind of beat them, and you've got to beat the living shit out of them. You ain't got to beat them on passing on. You're not going to win a most touchdowns game against high elves they're probably maybe wood elves are worse.
Wood elves are worse, and Skaven are probably worse. In terms of that,
but they don't have the Ags, Skaven.
But they don't have it across the whole team.
Yeah,
so what I'm finding is that because high elves are all wearing armor, so they need 9. It needs a 9 to break their armor.
Yeah,
the catches are 8, but there's only most of the team are 9. That's a massive difference from a wood elf team.
Or a
that single pip of armor.
Yeah.
Is keeping my team alive. So I played 2 nights ago, and I played against a human team. And the amount of times that Neil rolled an 8, and when he would have needed a 9 to break, it just seemed to always happen. I was like, it kept my team alive. And that was fantastic.
I'm always like amazed by people who run human teams because I've never had any luck with them. They're just like bog average of everything. But I mean, Neil did all right. Obviously.
No, he did. He's a very good player, and so that game that was a 2-2 draw. And there's no extra time because it's a playoff. It's not league match. I was 2-1 up and he was chasing to get to 2-2. So he played really well and he got the draw, but I was never in danger
going to win.
I wasn't in danger of losing.
Because if he gave you the ball back, you were going to score. So that's what you can't do. Right. Yeah. So the issue with humans is they can do everything else can do, but just worse.
Yes.
So they can dodge on threes.
Yeah.
They're passing slightly worse. Catching's definitely fucking worse.
Yeah, unless they're throwing to the catcher, it's definitely worse.
But it's just 3 with a reroll rather than, isn't it?
Mostly, yeah.
Because they're not Ag 2.
Yeah, they're not Ag 2.
So, or whatever, Ag 4 or whatever it is. Because they've changed it now to say 2+ rather than Ag 4. But... So your first game, you twatted a newbie 5-0.
5-0. Yeah.
Nice, newbie stomped.
I mean, what are you supposed to do?
Has he played his second game or has he hung himself?
No, he's played his second game. He's carrying on. I don't think he did well. What am I going to say?
Then you beat Phil 4-0.
Phil beat 4-0, yeah.
So it's a good job Neil took some impetus off you.
Yeah. But my team's getting really good now.
Yeah, your team's getting saucy, so it needs to be carved up by a goblin team.
It's like, well, you need to play your games.
Yeah.
Okay, so and actually, because we're in the same, there's 2 leagues. We're in the same 2 halves of the league. We're in the same half. So I'm definitely playing against Barry. We should record that game.
Well, we'll see what state my team's in first, because it's not been the most auspicious of starts.
Well, who are you using?
What do you mean?
Well, yeah,
the Funk Phenomenon, man. My true love in Blood Bowl. But they had the most miserable first game. It wasn't like... I've been drubbed in Blood Bowl before where you lose like 3-4, 5-0 and you feel like fucking dog shit. But this was just like, nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
My team did nothing. I got 1 SPP and that was from a pass at the end of the first half in turn 8. I did nothing.
Well, what do you mean?
I got no casualties.
Okay, so you weren't blocking.
I only got one of his players off the board with a knockout in like turn 14.
Nothing.
Because anyway, he was Chaos Dwarfs.
Yeah.
They've got a new skill on their lineman.
Iron Hard Skin.
Iron Skin, which takes away Mighty Blow.
Yeah.
So they
makes them different from dwarves.
And they got block.
Yeah.
So they love getting up against mummies.
Yeah.
And it was just. I mean, I wasn't in. There was no danger of Phil scoring a second one, I don't think. It was just a really fucking weird game.
Has that been you've only played one game so far? Yeah.
So what you need after a really shit game where you've scored 1 SPP and I wasn't going to put the Ghouls in for MVP, but as he got the only SPP, I put him in and he won that, of course. So brilliant, the Ghouls. The easiest thing to kill. Yeah. With no Apo.
So hang on, you can get a skill with 4 points. If you
I'm not going random. Are you going random this time? No.
Not high elves.
No.
They're too fine-tuned. Would you mess around with a Lamborghini?
No, so the Ghoul really needs block in order to survive. He's got shitty armour, no Apo. Yeah, he needs to survive, and so he needs block. So I've got to save up. So tonight, what do you need? The perfect game when you've got no fucking SPP.
You playing the Goblins?
Playing the Goblins.
I'm going to enjoy watching that one.
The Goblins. With all the fucking nonsense, chainsaws and bombs. Fanatics. 2 trolls. Oh, no. Dirty players. Fuck knows what else.
Yeah, a bit of fouling.
Luckily, I think his team value's higher than mine.
Well, that's random for a Goblin team.
Well, they got a lot of good
tools,
haven't they?
Okay.
And he's got loads of men, no doubt.
Loads of goblins.
So he's going to be filing the shit out of me. Yeah. So it could go really badly.
Could do.
Because, chainsaws are +3.
Yeah.
So fouling.
So Neil used the chainsaw, the Helmet Wolf, the human chain. In my game, he rolled a 1. But he can use Pro to re-roll that, which he did.
Nice.
Knocked out an elf. I blocked him back. He knocked him out, and that was that.
That's it. That's what you need.
Yeah, I was like, it's like there you go.
No, I'll get to kick the ball again, and then because the problem with Undead is it's so slow, like really, really slow team.
Yeah,
there's
away
only,
from the Ghouls.
Apart from the Ghouls and the Whites, who are a little. There's only 4 players that can even fucking move.
Yeah.
So if you start getting numbers down,
it's really hard.
The game just gets out of hand. Which is why in game 1 I went down to 9 players, and it's like, oh my god, I can't fucking defend. I can't even cage up because everything's so fucking slow. So we'll see. If I have a bad game tonight, it might get really messy because as long as I don't lose a mummy.
No, it's not likely to happen. They got high armor and regen.
Well, yeah. But high armour don't work when you're getting fouled, does it? With 8 people around you.
It's just the well, yeah, I suppose.
Or the chainsaw.
Eat this, mummy.
Well, the thing is, when you're getting beat by a team, because goblins are not snotlings and they're not even halflings, really. So you can't.
They're not as bad as gnomes. Gnomes are the worst.
Gnomes are worse than snotlings, are they? No?
Oh no! Isn't they're the worst team? Gnomes. Are the worst
Okay, I didn't know about that. But I mean, you can't really get upset when you get beat by goblins because I mean they are fucking awful, aren't they? You're not expected to win anything. I watched his last game, game 1 against. He was playing Frenzy. Corn?
Yeah.
Some new fucking stupid Frenzy team. Because the one Frenzy team they had wasn't enough, and they got a second Frenzy team. And by the end of the game, he had nothing on the board. Nothing. I think he had 2 trolls and one goblin.
Yeah.
That was it. I mean, everything else was gone.
That's the squad. What? That's all you need. It's like he's 2 big guys. It's like,
he's trying to stop the guy because I think he was winning, so I ended up a draw. I think he was trying to stop him scoring with like 2 trolls and a goblin.
They go down the line of scrimmage.
Entire team of fucking corn. Anyway, so we'll see how tonight goes. Hopefully it doesn't go too bad. Okay. And then we've got the next game set up, and I think that might even be the fucking corn man.
That's Jack. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. We play each other later on in our division. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good.
Anyway, but we're not a Blood Bowl podcast.
Yeah,
but I am still enjoying it.
Yeah, it's cool.
There are some differences. I wouldn't say it's better.
I
wouldn't say it's better. They've made it.
It's not different enough, is it? It's not different enough, is it?
And I think the changes have probably made the game worse in a lot of respects. Passing wise, it's fucking impossible to pass now. It was bad enough before.
Well, I will only throw the ball with my passer. Yeah, with my thrower.
Yeah, but you're an elf.
Yeah,
mate.
no, the rest of the elves, they ain't good enough to do it. I'm like, this guy, he's really good at throwing the ball.
I think the best passing I've got on my team is a 4-up from the goal.
Do it. Yeah, and that's quick pass.
Yeah, that's what we're doing with this. Nobody can catch anyways. Why'd you do it to get... Anyway, so in game where the biggest problem was the fact that you couldn't pass, they made it even harder to pass.
Yeah. I mean, the interception rules, they're more random. Now, it's basically harder to intercept with it.
Right.
Because you go to catch it and then you can... But then your first time is like you've got to the board, you're knocking it off. But then basically it's harder to intercept.
Right.
It is just harder to do it. But there we go.
Harder to do it. Right, okay. What else we got to talk about? You got another 5 minutes?
What I've been up to. So I've been playing quite a bit of Legion Imperialis.
Now, is that 8mm epic or is it?
Yeah. 8mm?
I mean, that was always a bit weird. The scale was a bit mixed, wasn't it? 6, 8.
Yeah.
And no infantry, or they do have infantry now.
Yeah.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
It does look like epic, doesn't it? Well, you reckon this is Space Marine?
They're the Ultramarines, yeah.
No, I mean, there's the reworking of the game Space
Marine.
Marine.
It's second edition Space Marine. It is exactly. It uses the same order system, the same profiles, CAF, that, it's in how the game works. Yeah, and it's...
this is the one you used to play with Webby?
Yes, ages. Yeah, but this is set in the Horus Heresy, and that's what they're lovely models the GW does for them. Yeah,
expensive, the 4G World shit. I know the box.
No, it's all GW plastic.
Okay.
It's like but the advantage of it is the vehicles, for example, are so quick to paint. They're like once you work out how you're going to do they're the kind of models where you could spend ages. I guess there's a lot of like Warmaster, for example, like. At this small scale, you could spend ages painting it and it not really look much better, or you can do something that's simple and effective and it looks fine.
Yes.
Yeah. Like if I was the Matthew Street of this world or the Justin, who we could paint art on tiny banners, they can make it look better.
Well, John was always posting up. I don't know if you ever saw his orc shit.
Yeah, John. Webb.
And he'd like post up this fucking single like big mech or something that he'd spent a fucking month painting. But nobody's going to see it. It's so small. You need a magnifying glass.
So, but I've really enjoyed the game system. It is. I wouldn't. It's certainly not. It's probably not. It wouldn't be a very good competitive game, but it doesn't really matter. I don't know. Everything dies in it. Everything dies immediately. Like you activate something that's going to shoot that thing, and it's going to kill it. Almost all the time. So like tonight's game,
was it not everybody just hiding the whole fucking time?
Well, that's what you should do.
Because as soon as you stand up, you're dead.
Yeah. So tonight's game, I know Richard is taking a Warbringer, which is a big Titan. and I don't really have something that can fight
Take that big lad over there.
So I'm probably just going to run away from that Titan, because that Titan can only kill one thing a turn. So I just accept that whatever it chooses to kill is going to die. And
how much of his army is that?
Oh, like 3,000 points. It's going to be 750 points of it, or something.
A quarter.
So like a good quarter of it, yeah. So it's like I'll just run away from it, I reckon. But I've been enjoying that, loving the game system, and I just find it really lovely to paint it up as well.
Well,
so
that's good.
That's cool. And yeah, I played the Blood Bowl League, and yeah, and I've got some Song of Ice and Fire at the weekend. So it's all.
You got a tournament or something?
Oh, yeah. So this is the I'm playing in the East Anglia GT. So that is Grant and James and Carl they've rented a hotel for a weekend, and it's in Thurrock, and there's 60 people playing.
6-0?
6-0, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's gonna be really cool, and it's the social. They've
how many rounds?
5 or 6. And they'll have they brought in entertainment for the evening, so there's axe throwing and sword fighting and lots of drinking that's going to be done on Saturday night. It's going to be a big blowout. Basically, like a convention style event.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Are you going along then?
Yeah, I'm
staying
100%.
over.
So yeah, I'm staying in a hotel in Thurrock on Saturday night. Saturday, I'll be finishing work at 1 in the morning on Friday. So short, lots of coffee to wake me up on Saturday, and and play it out.
So we're going to talk a little bit about the Warmaster Journal.
Yeah.
Alice released it for me. So
Yep.
Is it on the Facebook?
It's all on his website. It's
Excellent.
on Facebook. It's you can find it in all the places you would look for it.
Excellent. Well, yeah. I mean, there was a feedback straight away.
Yeah.
From Ian that the reference sheet was wrong.
Right, yeah, exactly.
I mean, I didn't write the reference
That's why
sheet.
we do reference sheets.
I didn't write the reference
Yeah,
sheet.
it's already been corrected.
So I mean, I'm sure the new one's available, and
Yeah.
at some point that probably means that I'll have to republish just to change the reference sheet at the back. It's not a big deal to change the reference sheet.
It was a minor thing. Yeah.
Something about stuff going in terrain.
Yeah,
can't
the
go
right
in.
saying what can go in what. Yeah.
Chariots, I think, or something.
So it's a minor thing.
Minor thing. But obviously, a reference sheet has to be right.
It should be right because they're classically wrong all the time. Reference sheets. So and when their GW does them, they won't reprint them, so they're wrong forever. Yeah. And since let's not be that, let's change the reference sheet. Yeah. It can be right. Yeah.
Let's change the reference sheet. Well, I'll give it a little while to see if there's any more feedback.
Yeah.
Because obviously you don't want to keep republishing different variants.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Especially if people are going to print them. So I'll just give it like a week or so.
That's a good idea.
That should knock the bugs out of the machinery.
What I think people listening would be interested in, because obviously they could be reading, they could have the journal in their hands right now looking at it. They could be at the time of recording. Is talk, because you've been like the editor. Talk to us about being an editor for this journal. Are you tell us that thing will be people interested in hearing.
So I think I can't remember what I think. I was trying to do an event and I couldn't get any traction on the event. I think it was last year or the end of the year before, so whatever that was, 24, 23 even. Just so maybe I was even trying to do that thing there was like an event at Nottingham University.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're trying to tag onto that.
Yeah, and I couldn't get any traction with it. So I tried to think of some other way to express my creative juice.
Yes,
that's not this.
Yeah.
And then I was reading, what was it? It was War Mag, was it called?
Yeah,
War Mag?
they are here. These things.
And then there was a more official thing that they did.
They did Warmaster magazine, which was just for Warmaster, and then they rolled it into another publication.
Forum or something?
Fanatic.
No, then there was like an annual thing they did.
I don't know if I don't have that annual, if that was the case.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think then there was a couple of annual things. Now, what they did well in that was like lots of hobby stuff and bring stuff in. And what I felt didn't go so well is when they tried to bring in like new armies.
Yeah.
Because it tended to get stuff into the game that wasn't completely cooked.
Well, it wasn't. That is true.
So I've tried to keep it on like the hobby level rather than go into.
Because they did. I mean, I would say it's a classic GW power creep. And on a slight little tangent, like One of the Old World has just done the rules for Grand Cafe. First time
is it?
Warhammer has had a new army in it for 20 years.
What Cathay are now an official army?
An official army.
So now we've got loads of fluff for fucking Cathay.
Yeah. There's loads.
Because it was funny.
Yeah, because now we've gone from not much, apart from them being named, to loads.
But is it real fluff, or they've just hoovered up all the ancient Chinese stuff?
It is definitely pandering to a Chinese market. It is taking the best bits of Chinese history and trying to and warhammering it.
Yeah.
Anyway, but the rules for Cathay, they're so good. Like, as in the game, they've really they've really made them overpowered. It seems at first glance, you're like, wow, they are significantly better than most of certainly any of the official. So the legacy armies are in a terrible place.
They were always going to be in a terrible place.
But like the Cathay are like super strong. Yeah, if not the best. Out of the block, they're probably at the best. But that's classic GW character. How do you sell something to somebody? You get a lot of lovely new models, but you also make it the best in the game.
Best in the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Especially if it's a new range.
Yeah.
We're not talking about
this entire new range.
Yeah, we're not going to. We're talking about where they reissue a codex and just give them a little gentle polish.
It's Cathay's probably the biggest release GW's done for, as in certainly this year, I would say, because it is a. They had some really old models from the 80s or something like that's a Cathay thing.
Is it?
I think they did, but they never made it. They've never been an army in Warhammer. They've been in the fluff. They've never been a thing. And this is where Warmaster, the trendsetter that it was, they've been existing in Warmaster much longer.
Well, probably 15 years or something.
So anyway,
20 years maybe.
But anyway, say what your point was in this style that Joey was doing it tended to release stuff that wasn't thought out very well and wasn't play tested very well and was definitely good.
Yeah, so there is a place for that in the game.
Yeah.
There is, but I think it's going to come via Chris Orr and the Experimental Forum, and there's going to be a book of armies to play with.
Yeah,
that aren't necessarily they haven't gone through the testing procedure to be official.
Yeah.
Warmaster Revolution armies, but I mean it's your game. Do what you want. If you want to fucking play with the list in the, some of them will be well tested. Some of them not so much.
Some people they want more instructions. So another release that GW's done at the same time as Cathay, they've put out the Warhammer the Old World Match Play Guide.
Right.
So that is telling you how to play a match play game.
Well, you're not talking about a tournament, are you?
No, but that's how it's done. It's most games are match played in and it's interesting just to see what's included in that. In terms of how it dictates even down to things like you need to roll your dice where your opponent can see them. That's a rule of the game. But anyway, some people crave that kind of instruction.
I understand. There's boundaries.
Yeah.
But so is it a good thing that GW are kind of prescribing how you play games?
I think it is. I'd say it is. I do really like their 3 system of matched, narrative, and open play. The reality is
it's just matched.
It's just matched. Everybody plays matched.
But when you buy into the GW ecosystem, let's put Middle Earth aside, just the 2 big ones now, because they got 2 again. They only had 1. Now they brought the second one back to life.
Yeah.
You've got to accept that if you want to be competitive, and for lots of people that's what it's about. They want to play the best shit with the best shit.
Yeah.
You're going to have to fucking chase the meta.
Yeah.
And when they bring out something like Cathay is going to kick the living fuck out of it. I didn't even know they existed. But I can guarantee they're going to kick the living shit out of everything else.
So in Warhammer the Old World, the best thing for points-wise is easily a dragon. Yeah, a guy mounted on a dragon. The Cathay dragon is out of this world. It's just oh my god. It's its points are it's hundreds of points undercosted. What it should be. Really.
And they've got a really new model.
Oh, they've got a lovely model. And it's very oriental.
You can take multiple.
Yeah.
Multiple.
Very oriental. It looks very cool. Yeah.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But that's what you've got to accept that.
Yeah.
That's what you're buying into.
Yeah. That is how what we do with Warmaster. That's how we're different. That's how we don't have an agenda to sell a new product.
No.
We don't have an agenda to make the new army the best thing there is.
For example, I mean, I think back in the eons of time before 3D printing existed, I made an ogre army.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
But there's no fucking saber tusk.
Yeah.
It wasn't. And even though the saber tusks have been released, my arm's there. There's no money in the metal miniatures anymore, so there won't be any saber tusks released.
Yeah.
It's just there's nobody chasing. The biggest problem would be if somebody came to the committee and said, "I've got this really cool new album. I've got a new army, and I've got the STLs for it." Yeah, we're not here to sell stuff. No. It's I don't want to sound overly righteous or pious, but nobody's in this to make money.
No, of course not.
So the Warmaster Journal,
yeah,
nobody's selling it.
No,
everybody gave their time and energy for free.
We're not selling it. We're not. It's not. You don't cost anything to buy it. You can pay to have it printed, and that's your choice. But no one, even Rick Priestley, you didn't pay Rick Priestley to write an article.
Just asked him nicely.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice.
Yeah. So there you go. It's like, but tell us about that, because you were the editor. So how did you pull it together, and like what? And are you happy with the end result?
Yeah. I think that I do lean quite heavily on the committee to get. Like, if you want to call it like a VIP lane, everybody in the committee is welcome to submit an article. But unfortunately, not everybody gets what they wanted printed. We did have an occasion this year that somebody submitted something that wasn't in the, like, what would you call it, like a style?
Right, fair enough.
Didn't fit with the rest of the style.
Yeah.
So
But that's you. That's an editorial. As your job as the editor.
Because I want to keep it light. Yeah. So nobody's making any money from the journal, and everybody's giving up their time and energy for love.
Yeah. And that's as you say, like and there is a vetting process that you go through as an editor.
Yeah, because I think some
you want to be inclusive, but you can't let anything be published.
Because it's meant to be kind of a lightweight, you know, like reading on the toilet, coffee table type.
So this is the journal's second edition, isn't it? In terms of it, so there's one last year. This is this year's. Yeah, and it's like, and it looks lovely. Like the art.
So the VIP lane would be submit through a committee member or Warmaster. No, what's it called? Warmaster Journal at gmail.com. Get in touch via there. I'd really like it to be more than just revolutions. Yeah. So it was really good that Alish put in an article about the naval stuff. Yeah,
and that's getting some people
some mad love.
Some mad love for it. It's cool. Fair enough. Yeah.
Because Man of War did have some issues.
Oh, massive issues. Oh my god. Oh my god.
So, I mean, if he's improved on that would be
good. Like, it's like some of it was ridiculous, but hilarious. Yeah.
So, and then I think I've already mentioned, but we've had a small break. I think Chris is going to do a list of armies. So that would be really good.
As in, what a list with what's in the list? What is it?
So a list of like experimental armies.
Yeah, right. Cool. Yeah.
So perfect, I think there's an event coming in. Is it January? Janus' event or February? He's doing his very north of the world. And you've got to use an experimental list.
Ah, that's cool. Yeah. Fantastic.
So the lists don't exist. You've got to bring your own list.
Bring your own list, yeah.
Make your own shit.
Make your own stuff.
So, I mean, good luck to Chris. I think he's the curating of that tomb. That might be quite a problem. I mean, how many halflings did you put in? You're going to have a whole book.
You could call it something funny, like the Book of Nagash or something. Yeah,
I think there are at least, that I know, there are like 5 or 6 halfling lists running around.
Yeah, running around. People love that. Yeah.
They love halflings.
They want a halfling. They want to laugh. Yeah. Bring halflings. Make the moot great again.
I mean, do they exist? Would they exist on a scale of being able to do a grand hell?
No, they wouldn't. But who cares? It's like,
well, you have to care, don't you? I mean, I think one of my concerns with how on earth would they ever go to war?
Well, they wouldn't. But never mind. We made it work in a way.
Yeah, Alice wrote that. I mean, in hindsight, I was probably quite hard on him about that list because I just saw the things that were like pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
But it's not broken the game, and it was a really difficult list to make.
It was the hardest.
Oh, it was a pain in the balls to play against.
Yeah,
it had such crazy fucking spells, and you could trade units for fucking woods, or you could even bring free woods.
And we had to go down that route of like what's the worst you could do with this in terms of like, and it just
it was a fucking
not
mess.
Warmaster,
it was a mess. It was somebody had tried to port over like 5th edition fantasy or something into Warmaster with all the nonsense that came with. So I mean, I just wanted to put on record that in hindsight, I think the Wood Elf list is probably about as good as it can get.
I think I don't see
the only exploit was the silly fucking the one that I keep saying about blinkering your, because there's a spell where you can get you to move.
Yes.
And there's no stand and shoot.
Yes.
But you have to shout the nearest thing, and you can kind of fucking blinker your own shit to make it.
I know, but there are some elements to Warmaster where it's like it is part of it. It is something you can do in the game, but
if you're going to be a wanker,
about it, but it's like, do you actually have to rule to say where it's like
stop being a wanker?
Stop being a wanker. Like don't blink it. Like don't do that. Like it's like not that's pushing the rules too far. It's like
stop being a wanker. Right. So anyway, the process, it was quite tiring. Yeah. Getting everything in. The hardest bit was remembering what I'd agreed to print. Yeah. And then making sure everybody submitted on time.
Yeah. chasing deadlines is
an
editor's job. So, but overall, you're happy with the end.
Yeah, I wish it was a little bit wider in scope.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I've been knocking on Jim's door over and over again, and but one day maybe he'll commit something to it. Janice did an Ancients thing.
Yeah.
It'd be good if we could get some of the... Because we're going to talk about Black Powder today. Black Powder is really quite similar to Warmaster in a lot of respects.
That's part of this episode is what we're talking about. Well, maybe we could do something ourselves for a Black Powder.
Maybe.
Yeah, why not? Like, I mean...
Because if you wanted to play Napoleonics and you wanted the feel of Warmaster, then that's what it is.
That's exactly what it is, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And again, I'm pretty sure that although I've never played it, because we've never had a community to play it, I'm pretty sure Hail Caesar's going to be similar.
Yes, yeah.
Like an extension of Warmaster Ancients.
Yeah, exactly. I think it probably...
Into a more casual environment.
Maybe we should try it sometime. Then, like, find the rules for free and just.
Well, I'm not worried about ponying up for a rule, but
and then give it a go.
Because
maybe.
Because I mean that again is a 28mm game, but you just scale it down to 10mm.
Well, to any scale you want. Yeah.
Yeah, but exactly. I mean, I don't know if you've got a Roman army.
Yeah, I've got a Roman army. Yeah,
10mm.
Yeah, 10mm. It's all ready to go.
I've got some British Napoleonics. They can shoot them.
Yeah. Bastards.
So anyway, it's out. It's about.
And so there'll be another one next year.
Absolutely.
And they'll hopefully you get them printed. They'll look nice on your shelf, and they're a lovely thing to have. Definitely.
And the key tenets of the stuff that Chris does around compiling. We do a video with Chris. The stuff that Ian does around the FAQ. And the battle report that Martin does. They're the key tenets.
They're the key things. They're the things that are going to be in there.
Yeah, the things that people, especially the battle report. Martin puts a lot of time and effort into that.
And that's good. And that's to be championed.
Yeah. He's not getting paid for it, so if you ever see him, buy him a drink.
Buy him a drink. Yeah, like it. Enjoy it.
Even Winter put in an article this year.
I did, because I went, as soon as I saw Priestley was putting in an article, I had to get my name in there as well. I want my name in that. So I wrote something. But yeah.
I mean, Emmy's such a nice guy. Yeah. Such a nice guy. I hope we haven't seen the last of him producing games, because...
I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know. It feels weird, because once... There was, just going off topic slightly, there was a post on a group chat. I don't do many group chats, but there was one where Eric was complaining that the world's full of fucking games. And only people plays Old World and fucking 40k, and that's it.
Okay, right.
It's true. Not in the Warmaster land, but when you go into the wide world of wargaming, it seems to be there's just like the GW stuff.
Well, they are. They're the
and so once you remove yourself, like Rick removed himself from the GW, it's like his work just doesn't get any visibility.
I suppose not. No, I mean, like because recently I've sold on eBay some Gates Ventari stuff. And it just looked like Dead on Arrival to me when I was okay, what is this? Looking at it.
Well, at least it had that some IP, didn't it?
The
Warlords of Erewhon I really quite like, but I've played a couple of games, but there's just like
there's nothing out there.
Well, you can't make a community where there's nobody playing it, is there?
Yeah, you have to have some player base to begin with,
and they've got to be willing to commit to not playing it, because there's an opportunity cost to play anything.
Yeah, of course.
So if I'm playing Blood Bowl tonight, I'm not playing something else.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I don't know. I think GW. I mean, they are what they are, but it's quite difficult to fight them, isn't it?
Very. Yeah. Well, there's just so much bigger than anything else out there, isn't it? Just so much bigger. Yeah. Their rate of releases and what they're doing with multiple game systems.
The fucking treadwheel
is like I mean, you look at what is it? Warlord Games is maybe the second biggest company,
I don't know.
And it's like, but they can't redo Blood Bolt action every month.
Well, without pissing everybody.
No, but they can't. It's in like their main game is Bolt action.
Well, but they've redone it recently.
Yeah, and they just
and that's the second edition and
third,
and barely anything's changed.
Not really. Yeah.
Just an excuse to reprint stuff. And whatever.
Make some nicer kits for stuff that was putting in into plastic. But that's their main game. But they can't. They'll be stuck. They have to have Bolt action third edition for at least 3 years. They can't go less than that because GW's put it in like this accepted cycle of a 3 year change of a game. After 3 years, they'll bring another edition out of it.
That's clever in some ways because it means you're only 6 months away from the next buy-in.
Yeah.
If you've missed an edition, you've been out of the game for 3 years. Yeah. Oh, 6 months. Here we go. There's a new box set. I'm back in.
Exactly.
I'm back in. So I wish maybe it's just a vain hope that people kind of come away from tournaments a little bit, but tournaments are where people get to play games,
and also where they meet
they meet new people.
I didn't realise that there's a community out there.
Yeah, maybe this thing in November is going to show the way that you don't have to have a formal tournament. You just have a gathering and people play games. And shit.
Yeah.
It'd be really good if like there was a RickCon where people just play priestly games.
Priestly game. Wow. But yeah, that would be cool.
I mean, it's never going to happen because all the games are so like poorly supported.
Yeah.
Because there's no tournament scene, and when you don't have a tournament scene, it's really hard to keep a game alive.
Exactly, yeah.
Which is what Song's managed to do. See, even though I don't see much Song, you still say there's a 6-player event.
So a big thing with Song is, of course, CMON is it going out of business?
Is it?
And, well, I don't know. It's like, but they put out statements saying that
they still own this, do they?
They still own Song. Ooh. Yeah, they ain't sold off Song, but. Is the company itself? Is it just?
Well, it sold bloody Zombicide.
Yeah,
exactly. That is
a bigger game. So, but talking like with the Song players about it is like, if this does happen, that's not necessarily a bad thing because then the community can take it on.
What's the community, sir?
Well, you just lead and let them follow and let people follow.
What if several people decide to leave?
That could be the problem. That could be the problem. But it'd be on Saturday night when I'm pissed up in some hotel bar in Thurrock after a day of Song. That'll be the conversation that we've been having had. About. Like,
I hope Simon don't go away. I mean, they've done some good
stuff. No, they haven't done yet. But
when you sell Zombicide, which the last Kickstarter was 10 million,
exactly.
For Marvel Zombicide.
So with Song of Ice and Fire, they haven't done anything for the game since announcing they were in financial trouble.
I don't think they got any staff, Paul. I think they had to lay everyone off.
Who knows? No, I don't know. Yeah. Hire and yeah.
Well, if you ain't got no staff, you ain't doing no updates on that, are you?
Anyway, so any more to say with the journal?
No.
You're happy with it.
Good to put it to bed.
It sounds like you're happy with it.
Yeah, it's good to put it to bed and move on and have 6 months free.
6 months free and then start the process. Back again. Cool.
Back again.
Attention! If you need to get your miniatures safely from point A to point B, then get yourself a KR multi-case. KR multi-cases come in all manner of different shapes and sizes and have gamer-friendly pricing. So do yourself a favour and get yourself a KR multi-case today. Soft foam, hard cases.
Last bit of the episode is Black Powder.
Black Powder in 10 mil.
In 10 mil.
Now, we're doing this because we
have the opportunity
to do it. Yes, they've got to be honest. Yeah. We have played a game before, but it was
we couldn't
half painted.
We couldn't have put it on camera because
it was partly painted and it was quite small.
Yeah, it was quite small in comparison. I think anything.
I think we had a couple of brigades each, maybe 3 brigades.
Yeah. So like that, similar to the game we've published out on the you've done on your YouTube so far.
I think that game's probably a bit bigger.
That's probably a bit bigger.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know if people. Well, they probably. Let's assume they haven't seen the video.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
friend Y is selling lots of Black Powder stuff to friend X. Okay. And I'm the middleman between the two because friend Y and X don't live next to each other. But
and friend Y didn't go to the event he was supposed to.
Exactly. So I've become the keeper of the keys.
The keeper of the keys. Now this said, bolt action 10 mil fucking madness.
Yeah.
Friend X, I'd never even used.
Yeah.
And he must have spent. I don't know how long you must have spent fucking making this bastard.
Or putting the resources to getting it together. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. We could actually recreate like a kind of a unit to unit actual historical battles. We could do that like with that amount of stuff. It'd take some research, but you could do it.
Because a standard unit in bolt action is like 24 miniatures.
You mean Black Powder?
Black Powder. Yeah. 24 miniatures.
That's how Warlord games say.
Yeah. So you got 4 miniatures on a 40 by 40, and you have 6 of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if it's large, you have an extra
12, 24.
Yeah, you have a couple more on the end if it's a large unit.
Yep.
So imagine that, but scaled down to 20 by 20 bases, so a quarter of the size.
Yep.
With 4 miniatures on, but they're 10 mil.
They're 10 mil.
And that's what you've got.
That's what you got. Mm-hmm.
And they're historically accurate colours and uniforms, flags,
names. Yeah,
on the base of them,
which is
so
really that's a lovely.
So it says like
17th Lancers.
And there are roughly like 40 units of infantry,
Yeah.
similar amount of cavalry, 20 artillery, and a load of
per side.
And a load of commanders.
Yeah.
And it's not just so the bulk of it is English and French.
Yeah.
But then you've got Spanish and Portuguese. You've got like
there are elements.
Brunswick. You got fucking you got it all. Prussians. It's all there.
Yeah. So this collection was styled for Peninsular War and 100 Days War. That's what it was styled on.
With terrain.
As well done.
Farmhouses. Half a dozen nicely done farmhouses.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it was like I described it as like when the guys get the keys to the Ferrari in Ferris Bueller's. It's like we're going into the city in a Ferrari, and Paul hasn't even seen it.
No, I haven't seen it. Sorry,
but it's a fantastic clip. So his dad's prized possession is this Ferrari.
Okay.
And they nick it and go into the city.
Okay, right. Fair enough.
And this convertible Ferrari. Mm-hmm. It's beautiful. And that's what we've got. We've got this convertible Ferrari of a once in a lifetime, never going to get near anything like this ever again.
No, exactly.
Because there are like more than 200 units fully painted, historically accurate.
Yeah, exactly. So we have to. And we can do, but it's so easy to do. You just do it by waves. Like, you have everything set up, and you have, if that is filling the table, then we're bringing on brigades or from reserves. All of the Napoleonic battles.
Just need more players.
But yes, we do. But all of the Napoleonic battles were meeting engagement style battles. As in, like, slowly the armies are coming into the field and committing, and that corps is over there or that brigade's over there. None of them, very few of them are like everybody is present at the same point. It's just not how Napoleonic warfare seemed to go down, or at least from the history that I've read.
So at what point would they break? Because you're not fighting to the last man.
No, that'll take too long. I don't know. Like, just do it brigade by brigade. So, like, a brigade can, once it's broken, it disengages, it's gone. Just take it all.
I think we missed that point. I think when a brigade bangs up, you're supposed to test for shit nearby. It rolls.
Yeah, exactly. So when it starts withdrawing, and in the rules of the game, it's just moving backwards, moving off the table. So it doesn't. In the game, strictly, like in Black Powder, it's not like, okay, you remove everything now. It's like, no, it's like it is now withdrawing, and as it pulls itself off the table, it disappears. But
I think there's a point when that brigade breaks, that it can, there's a like contagion effect and other stuff around it can break. I think we may have skipped.
Well, anyway, but like
that was a really cool thing.
Yeah, that's lovely. Yeah. So what we found is looking into the rules of Black Powder, trying it on camera, is that it's got mostly this. It's got a command system. Which is, okay, that's how you distinguish Warmaster. What is Warmaster? It's got this command system, which you either love or you hate, which means you either like the game or you don't like the game.
Yeah.
And Black Powder has a version of its Warmaster command system where characters have a staff rating.
Yeah.
But it's more. It's definitely, Black Powder couldn't be, I don't think, a tournament game. It's more, you declare your intent of what you want the thing to do, and then your dice roll, depending on how successful it is, whether you carry out all steps of that declared intent.
So you can do up to like 3 orders.
Yeah.
And then you roll a single set of dice. Now most people are an 8.
Yeah.
And there are modifiers. There are enemy near and all this kind of
the
stuff.
The usual modifier, the same modifiers in Warmaster.
So you roll your dice, and if you roll an 8 or a 7,
you've got 1 pass.
After the modifications or whatever, you get 1 pass. Then there's 6
is 2, 7, so 5 would be 3 or less.
Yeah.
And you have to do what you declared you're going to do. So you could say, okay, so my third foot is going to go out of marching column, deploy into line, and move forward to there. And shooting isn't an order; they just automatically.
Yeah.
So it's going to then get into a firing position there, and that's 3 stages. Say change of formation, and then these moves are 1 and 2 moves. And I've rolled only 2 passes, so I've only shucken out of formation. I've moved once, not twice.
But you have to move the full distance.
You do. You have to do what because you're trying to get to the thing and the point of the point on the ground, which you could feasibly get to with a 3 order move.
Okay.
So it's like it drills. It's obviously that whole thing I just declared there is totally open to abuse from a tournament style game. It could easily be. So it's like, but it's like literally Priestley is gone on the official video of how you play Black Powder that Priestley's in, that Warlord put on their official channel. Priestley says, this is a game you play amongst friends.
Yes.
Like, you have to know the person you're playing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, like with charges,
Yeah.
it would be very difficult to get a flank charge here unless you were in the flank, because there's no first order moving to the flank, second order charge
exactly,
the flank.
yeah.
If I'm in your front when I start the order, I'm going in the front.
I'm going in the front. Yeah, exactly.
So the other thing that's interesting is there's no half-pace move.
Nope.
If you fuck up, you fuck up.
You
That's
mess
where you're
up.
standing.
It's a hard stop. Yeah.
And the generals, this is an interesting one. The generals are a token.
Yeah.
And all they do is allow a re-roll.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So there's a command system re-roll in there
For every army, every turn.
Yeah.
So every army, not every brigade, because each
You've
brigade,
got to re-roll a turn of a commander. It's just like having an Orb of Majesty.
So the other, I suppose we should also mention is that you have a brigade commander who has like units under his brigade, and he orders them.
Yeah, he orders them.
And that's his brigade.
That's his brigade. Yeah, exactly.
And that's repeated over. So you only get one re-roll from the general for all those brigades.
All those brigades
each turn.
Each turn. And there's a lot of component parts that are getting moved around by that.
And it's not that easy to make orders because you're starting on an 8.
Yeah. Like there's no 10s. Like you can get bonuses if you like in the right formation,
the French column,
or
cavalry charging,
because
they want to fucking charge
on a road or whatever.
Like, because they get gallop, like British get gallop at everything to get +1 to charge, which is interesting because you could give like certain types of troops in Warmaster a bonus to charge.
You could definitely, There's elements of Black Powder, which is obviously Black Powder is written after Warmaster, and there are elements of it. And Priestley says that Jervis Johnson did the initial work of writing Black Powder. For them, casually, Jervis Johnson didn't work for Warlord Games.
Yeah.
He's just like, they literally wanted a game system they could play at the Perrys, playing
As
big
you do.
games of big days of Napoleonics.
In an evening.
In an evening. So then Priestley takes what Jervis has done. So Jervis has taken elements of Priestley's work and gone so far, and then Priestley finishes it off. Yeah.
Yes, people have talked about that kind of effect for orcs, isn't it, in particular?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
orcs really should be. It should be easier it should be hard for them to move when they're not fucking charging. But when you're charging that's what we want to do.
That's what they are all about. Yeah.
So maybe give them like a charge anything.
A little bonus
anything.
Stick in.
Get stuck in. We'll talk about that next week or whenever we discuss.
Yeah.
So no hope, one re-roll command. So the fact that it looks like you're playing Warmaster.
Yes. Yeah.
To a large degree.
It does.
And the stuff moves like you're playing Warmaster, but it's not as dynamic, and you're not trying to maneuver flanks, and obviously it's a lot around shooting, which Warmaster isn't.
Yeah, because this is Napoleonics. It's an age of Black Powder. That's the name of the game. Muskets fight the battles. There's very little bayonet attacking.
I mean, you do it.
You do it, but like it's there's probably more in the game than there is historically. But you could say that the stuff where they go hand to hand is actually just close range musket fire,
probably
rather than bayonets stabbing each other. You could say that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's some interesting bits. I don't know how historically accurate it is. Probably reasonably. When the horses come near infantry, they'll just form into square, and that's what will happen.
And there's a very good chance the infantry do form square. And
there's a very good
it's
chance.
not automatic, but
but then cavalry will never charge square.
Because
there is no order you can give them that will make them do it.
It was incredibly rare for cavalry to break a square. It did happen. I think famously, King's German Legion managed to do it like to 2 French squares, like in an aftermath of Salamanca or something. Aftermath of one battle, the King's German Legion, which hadn't fought in that battle, was like the reserves and the brigade that didn't make it to the battle.
Yeah, but wanted a bit of action.
Yeah, but they famously did charge down 2 squares somehow. Like, how they actually managed it, God knows. I think it's a case of where these charging horses, they go at the squares, some are killed, and their momentum smashes them into the squares and breaks up the formation,
right? Because
of these dead horses essentially falling into people, and then the other cavalry managed to exploit that, and the defending infantry don't reform quickly and scatter and panic and scatter.
Yeah, because it's not like the age of pikes, is it? You've only got a bayonet.
So pikes, so you've got which is a very effective thing. A very sharp sword at the end of a stick is a very good weapon for most people, because you just got to poke it into someone. but it's more the threat of them all massed together. That horses just, no matter how well trained they are, they won't commit suicide. Like they won't do it. Like,
Nope.
no, like so like they just will not do something which they see as suicidal. But I think it's Black Planet. It's a lovely, elegant game system, and it's lovely to play it with yourself because we're such good friends, and it's like we're both there trying to recreate a good battle, a good element of experience of it shared. But it's like I do look at it also. I'm like, there's no way this game could be competitive. I couldn't play this game against someone I didn't know, because it's just you say this elegant system of like agreeing to like we were both agreeing to do does not work in a cutthroat world.
So, and the other major difference to Warmaster is how stuff dies.
Yes, yeah.
So there's no taking stands off.
No stands removal. Unit is there until it's not there. Yeah.
So you have like your morale level.
Yeah.
So you roll against your morale rather than any armor or hit whatever. So
once your unit's taken the casualties that is beyond its stamina, which is called, it's taken enough casualties. There's a chance it could end. It's the end of it.
So, for example, a unit of just regular line
has 3 stamina.
3 stamina, and then maybe got 4 up morale. So you're rolling the 4 up to save. Once you've taken 3 wounds,
and the morale isn't like it isn't the save isn't representative of them deflecting shots. It's actually it's how they deal with casualties is what it really represents.
So
you are taking casualties.
Yeah, so you're holding,
but you're staying together. But your unit is staying effective. Because the vast majority of shots in these battalion on battalion, they miss the muskets. They're not accurate weapons. But they do en masse. They do inflict some casualties, and it's about the willpower, as in the esprit de corps of the unit to stay fighting after receiving some casualties.
Yeah. So then you get to the point where it's shaken, which degrades your morale and degrades your combat ability. Then you can get disordered, which further degrades you.
Yeah, exactly.
And then eventually you'll break.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like because certainly with the cavalry in the game, it's like, what are the cavalry meant to do? Like, what is their role? Well, actually, what their role is to fight other cavalry.
Yeah.
And if there is no other cavalry to fight, to push infantry into squares, because that stops the square moving, and then you attack the square with your own infantry or
artillery,
and then you can hit them. You're hitting them hard, and they're not very good at shooting back. So it's weird. It's weird. Like the cavalry's job is just to push the infantry around.
Yeah, and the cannons, the artillery, because we're playing in centimeters instead of inches because we're at 10 mil. Yeah. The kind of cannon range does feel a little bit limited.
It is limited. But then. I suppose
because 48 centimeters isn't that far.
No, it isn't.
And 48 inches is quite a bit long.
So the infantry can move 12 in a move. So they can go 12, 24, 36 theoretically. And the cannon, it can fire 48 in the game, but it's very ineffective at 48.
Oh, very ineffective.
So it's like they really want to get much closer than that. But it's.
And also there was a conscious decision made to kind of not only make cannons not tremendously effective, but not give you that many.
No.
So you're only taking 1 per brigade, generally.
Yeah. And that is a representative of forces. I'm like, Napoleon, Napoleon was famous for massing his artillery together. He was an artilleryman by trade. Artilleryman was the only trade in the armies which actually had a formal training. It wasn't like, oh, you're an infantry officer, you go to your battalion and you kind of learn off the other people, but there's no formal training of it. Artillery's all mathematics. So they were, I guess, the first proper professionals. Anyway, Napoleon was that, and he was famous for massing his guns together to have an effect. So rather than having 50 guns spaced out across the battlefield, shooting 50 different things, he'd have 50 guns together, all hammering the same thing.
Which would hurt at distance, but when you get near, it would be ruinous.
Yeah, because these guns turn to canister, and canister basically turns a cannon into a giant shotgun. And that was in terms of death, that was the biggest killer in Napoleonics, was being hit by canister.
So it does reflect that quite well, because you're shooting at range. I mean, you might not have much chance to hit. You're only shooting once.
Yeah.
So it might be 4, it might be 5 up to hit. But if you hit, there's a good chance you're going to dent the morale.
Yeah, and that represents not the amount of casualties, it represents how they die.
Yeah.
Because it's a cannonball, doesn't it? It's not films, they don't explode, cannonballs. cannonballs are just a big lump of metal that takes people's heads off.
Yeah.
You know, like, and
Cuts
it's,
them in half,
yeah,
yeah.
like, and it's just like, and it's like horrible to see. So yeah, this cannon fires at this unit of 600 men and kills 5 of them, say, like knocks our file down, and 2 are very badly wounded and screaming. The other 550, 595, like, well, screw
that.
That
Could be me.
Yeah, that could be me, couldn't it? Next time,
Me.
like, yeah,
And you can never get that. The first
yeah.
knocks your morale.
Yeah.
The first wound.
Yeah.
You can never get that off.
You can never get that.
Stays, that
so
stays on
the
you.
game has a nice, elegant. So in Warmaster, there's no way
Of healing.
aside from summon demons. Like, you know, so there's no way to do that. There's no way to. No, the game doesn't have that. Black Powder does. So Black Powder, you take your casualties, your wounds, and then if your commander spends a time with the unit and like passes a check with them, they heal wounds off them.
And can move
but they can
some of the status.
That's right, yeah. So like basically repairs them. And it isn't representing of like people getting back alive again, of course, but I guess it's
morale.
I guess it's command and control. It's getting command control back. Yeah. So that's, I guess, temporarily,
get somebody to pick up the flag. You get on the
bugle.
bugle.
Temporarily promoting some sergeants, that kind of thing. You know, like, right, you're now a sergeant, take charge. You know, you pick up that flag.
Well, now yours, because I'm not sure they had anything to combat the characters. Maybe they do, because I've never committed them. But you're now trapped in that unit,
the
and that's very, very
and
vulnerable.
if the unit died, the character would die.
Yeah.
And there's so that
in the same way with Warmaster, you can't target a character until he's in a unit.
Yeah,
and joining that unit to repair it is when you're most vulnerable.
Is when you're most vulnerable. But it is a very, I love it as a mechanic, because it is just like, your division is say 6 battalions, and you've got 2 in the front. They go in and they do the fighting. If they're still alive after the fighting, they can withdraw back. So the next wave goes in front of them, and then those ones that are wounded can come back and then can start to heal and become not as effective as they were originally, but can become effective again.
Yeah, I mean, in the game online, that was how I won the left flank. Was I was overmatched, but I managed to push back some of Rid's stuff and then fall back and heal my guys back up and put them back in.
Put them back in again. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's I love it as a game system. Obviously, it's historically set, and we're both into our Napoleonic history. We both like that period of history.
It's pretty hard not to be British and sharp, isn't it? Come on, man. Apart from the production values look a bit dated.
Oh God, yes. Here's my company of 5 guys.
4 months. Me and the chosen men.
I know that one. Oh dear.
What a like Sid scale it makes up for with the acting of your Simonsons.
The Simonsons. Sir Henry Simmerson. I have friends in Horse Guards, sir.
I love it.
It does a great job of representing but I see the only thing it doesn't. I've never seen, but I don't think any Napoleonics tends to do, or maybe it represents another way, is like when these guys the reason you wear these bright coloured clothes, it's not just because that looks nice. It's battlefield recognition. It's like, well, who the fuck are you? Well, I'm French, I got blue on, and he's red, he's British. And that's because as soon as you fire these muskets, you can't see anything. Like they are big loads of smoke going on.
So is it true that they wore red so they couldn't see the blood?
No, because blood actually shows up on it. It was actually the cheapest colour.
Was it? That sounds very British. What have you got this cheap?
So when they were like, right, we need a colour for the British Army. Well, red cloth, strangely, is the cheapest thing. We'll go with that. That's why we're redcoats. Yeah, it's not for some grand reason. No, why do we those cross belts? They're like fucking targets.
White trousers. That's all.
White trousers. Well, they begin white. Dysentery soon sorts that out.
White trousers.
That was. I mean, it's the War of the Regimental Tailor. It's like the whole period of history because everyone looked fantastic in it. Like everyone. Like there's some good uniforms going around these battlefields. Like look how smart they look. And that was their like combat uniform. There was a smarter code of dress they would have as well.
She's talking about looking smart, and there's a small tangent. I was watching, I don't know why, but on YouTube it was sending me down British Armed Forces news.
Oh right, yeah. Was it showing the Trooping of the Colour?
When it was showing the Trump's birthday parade and the marching.
I think that was a silent protest.
What, the marching?
Yes, because it was so bad. I think it was.
Come on.
No. Apparently, it might well have been a silent protest.
It was.
It was terrible, wasn't it? It was terrible.
It was. If there were people that looked less interested marching.
Yeah. Just some people going from A to B. It did not look like march. Well, it was. Yeah, I mean.
But apparently they don't march.
No, it's not a thing. That's not what Americans do.
Well, then. Yeah. It doesn't stop them fighting.
No, because they do.
Well, maybe we spend too much time marching because we do look very good.
We do very good. But we're also an army that has more horses than we do tanks.
Seems like an error.
Yeah.
In the modern world, swap the horses and tanks
yeah.
for drones. You're probably quitting.
Yeah. So
probably quitting.
that's true. We have on.
We still do a lot of marching, apparently.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not sure how effective it is nowadays as a battlefield tactic.
Yeah, like not really.
Get the bagpipes out.
Yeah, but it's cool. I mean, like, there's something about a formed body of men marching.
I mean, if you want to see that taken to the nth degree, you got to look at the Chinese when they do it. There's fucking bazillions of them.
Yeah.
Well,
I think if they get it wrong, I think their punishments are a bit more severe.
Millions of them in step. You've got earthquakes happening because of their own step.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think that'll do us.
Yeah, it's a
black powder.
It's just hopefully we get this other game going because I'm dead keen to do it.
It's Monday night, the next.
Yeah, that's right. We're gonna.
I'm not sure Rid's signed.
Yeah.
If
If he is, if he's not, we go. But it's very interesting. As I say, it's very interesting playing one of Warmaster's derogatory, like what's the right word?
Successors. Or
and it'd be very interesting to play also other Warmaster successor games as well. Yeah. Like seeing like Hell Caesar. Like would be good to.
Well, I've got no interest in doing it in 28 mil. That's just madness.
No.
Madness.
No, that's not who we are. It's like
I've got some Brunswicks, which are the easiest things to paint in 28 mil. I've still painted hardly any.
Yeah.
Maybe got a unit. Maybe.
So it's not 40 units, is it? Yeah.
No, and half a unit of light.
Yeah.
And it takes up too much space on the table.
Yeah.
When you see this in 10 mil, it just looks like what you want a Napoleonic battle to look like.
And the battle, the field of the battle is suitably epic. Like, as in, like, there is scope here to do manoeuvres. And you can see the formations, like them folding out and stuff. And I really enjoy it when the game, like, you can see your army taken into effect and how it's deploying and moving around and stuff. I love all that. So it's like maps, figures on a map. That's what I like. I really like it. Mm-hmm.
It looks better than hex-based stuff. I mean, it's effectively what it is, isn't it? You're just playing a hex game. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so maybe we'll try and look at Hail Caesar after this. But
that would be cool.
But we can't get distracted because this opportunity with the bolt action.
No. We like this and
this is like or black powder.
We have to take it while we can take it.
Just don't answer any calls.
Yeah, not in.
to friend Y.
To friend Y. We're not in. Don't go.
Paul doesn't live here anymore. Anyway, okay, so we're going to wrap it up there. I think we've done about an hour and 20.
Yeah, we've done loads of stuff.
Okay, so this was episode 202 with Paul and Barry.
Yep.
Next week, or whenever next week. Oh, summer's coming, that's always a problem. Yeah. But it might be next week, maybe the week after, we'll do the Orcses.
Orcses? Yeah.
Who've had some love.
Yeah.
But still could do with more, I think.
Yeah, there's a fundamental problem with the Orcses. In there, anybody
that wants to win with them just brings a load of ball boys.
Yeah, there is an accepted list, but that also does come on to the episode we do have to do with cavalry of it's in. So, but there's lots to be said about Orcses. There's a good army to do.
Yeah, it is. All right. Okay. So until next time.
Two of you together. That's fine. But what if one of you is the monster?
Monster? British.
Two of you together. That's fine. But what if one of you is the monster?
Monster? British.